Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial. This segment's being brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where professionals get their books done so they can turn what they know into what they're known for and become the obvious choice. Download the free book, Books Grow Business, at booksgrowbusiness.com. Joining me on this segment is Chidera, and she's with Tech Remedy, a digital systems consultancy. Chidera, welcome to the program.
Hello, how are you?
I'm
Good
great,
morning.
thank you. And to get started, tell us a little bit about your work and specifically who are the types of folks that you help?
Yeah, Tech Remedy, we are in the world of marketing and technology blended perfectly together. We help local businesses and small businesses actually from granted, we're here predominantly in the DMV area, so that's DC, Maryland, and Virginia. However, we have clients that we help from out the diaspora and African continent. We have clients that we help out all the way in the West Coast, California. So what we do is, it touches all types of local businesses. Again, helping them to structure their business better, helping them to do business better. We also help our clients and customers attract the ideal candidate for their business so that they can actually, operate efficiently as well.
For these business owners that you help, what is the number one most popular challenge that they come to you to solve? What is the biggest problem these folks want help with?
Many folks, especially when we're working with the solopreneurs or, entrepreneurs that have less than 5 employees, many of them, they're struggling with being the bottleneck, right? They're the one person that have to wear all the hats and they do everything on their own. And so we leverage technology with, AI tools and softwares. We build out CRMs for them. We create workflows and, build out certain automations for them. Whether you're an e-commerce brand or you're a service-based business, we are able to, come into your business, figure out what your needs are, get some clarity, and then we'll build out the systems and softwares as needed to help the day-to-day operations in your business.
So, in this world that's getting even more and more complex, and there's so much
Mhm.
information and misinformation out there, especially even in the age of AI, what are
Yeah.
some of the biggest myths or misconceptions that you hear from business owners on how they're trying to solve their problems?
Well, when it comes to AI specifically, people just think it's going to come over and come and take over what they're already doing and things of that sort. And I always shut that down by saying artificial intelligence. Now, I have a background in computer science. My master's is in IT management. I have been in the world of tech for over a decade now. I'll tell you, AI, granted, there's some job positions that, it's shifting some things around in the market. But when it comes to business, it's really what you want it to be. It can be your best friend or the opposite, right? So a lot of our clients, they'll think, this is going to take over their work and things of that sort. No, it's something that you can pair with your your knowledge and business acumen to help support what you're already doing and enhance what your teams are already doing, right? So for clients that have those 20 employees and 80 employees, you want to be able to kind of keep a track on what's going on within the workspace. You want to be able to make sure that things are properly aligned, and there are tools out there, AI tools and softwares that can definitely assist you, right? They're not taking all the work off of the table, but they help you buy back time so that you can really invest your energy and your effort into doing your actual the business, what you love to do.
Now, going back to the business owner as the bottleneck or the solopreneur,
Yeah.
I'm sure they're trying to use AI tools to not be the bottleneck anymore or something like that. But
Right.
when people do these things, whether it's with AI or anything else, any other solutions, what are some of the biggest mistakes or pitfalls that you could help people avoid when trying to not become that bottleneck anymore? What mistakes do you see people making?
Oh, well, for sure. Not doing the proper having a proper structure before you even introduce the technology into your business. So when we have conversations with clients, they don't actually have, a lot of people do not have, from what I've seen, they don't have the proper structure. They don't really have apart from fine, they've registered their LLC or their incorporations or whatever, they've registered the business, but then they don't have the proper structure within the business and also knowing exactly where we leverage technology, right? Where's the best fit? They don't have a CRM, they don't have an SOP, they don't have proper guidance. I don't want to use the word basic business assets, but certain business assets and structure are not put in place before we actually, pipe in the technology, whether it be AI or just creating automations and things of that sort. So again, that's why our approach is typically tailored to based off of the customer and the client's needs. And so we come into your business, we actually do assessment, we do an audit to see where you're at and what you've done. We want to see, especially when it comes to the world of marketing. A lot of people, there's so many ads out there right now that's telling you, hey, you can use this AI tool to help you run your ads on Facebook and Google, and you're gonna receive whatever return and a lot of people try it, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because you haven't really properly measured the metrics. Marketing is not a plug and play thing, right? It's a different series of steps before we get the result that we're looking for. And within those series of steps and strategies, we need to go back to what worked in the past, what didn't work in the past. So that's why like I always encourage folks like AI is here to help you. It's not taking over what you're doing, and it might not even do what you want it to do as well as you would hope it would, right? But this is where we couple the strategy, the brainstorming, the research. Again, we want to see what has worked well in the past. We want to see what did not work well in the past, so we do not keep repeating the same mistakes.
That's a great point that tactics alone don't help unless
Yes.
it's really tied to a solid strategy. So,
Yes.
Chidera, what inspired you to get into this line of work to begin with? How did you get started?
Yeah, so great question. I again coming from the world of technology, I worked predominantly on systems like Salesforce, leverage tools like, the Atlassian suites and all again, working from the world of coming from the world of IT. Started from physical layer stuff, right? Fixing laptops and helping servers and networking devices, whether it be a router, switch, all those fun, handy things. And then I moved on over to the software side again, Salesforce and data integrations. And it was in data integrations that I really started to love more of metrics, understanding numbers. And after being unfortunately laid off a couple years ago, during the mass layoff season, and I've always had the idea, I've always had the desire to help businesses and just help a certain group of people. And after doing my own digging and my own internal self-searching and all those wonderful things, I was now able to pinpoint, this is what I'm really good at. And then also, I did an assessment. I asked a lot of people around me, the simple question, if you were having a conversation with someone and you recommended me to them to help them with something, what were you talking about? And a lot of people, my friends and people I've worked with in the past, and I've always done freelance things on the side, even when I was employed. And so they would say, I would refer them to you for business development and website development. Now, my minor is in website development. And so that's kind of what sparked like, okay, this is what you're obviously good at, but this is also what people think you're great at, right? And then that's how that kind of sparked the ignited the business idea and where, it morphed into what we are today.
I love that, and that is a
Yeah.
great exercise that you did there, reaching out to your audience to see what they know you for, because you get
Right.
a lot of insights from that. So that's the great insight there. Before I ask you my last question, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you feel like is important to share with business owners, solopreneurs, and professionals today?
Um, you know, I would say there's one target market that I'm very passionate about, and that's those solopreneurs. See, with the business owners that are 10 years in experience and above, they've been doing business full time, right? And you've been doing it for 10 years, hats goes off to them because as as I have been like, 5 years in now, half a decade in, and I see the trials and tribulations that comes with, owning your own business and taking the leap of faith to dare take a chance on your own self, right? But the early entrepreneurs, I have a soft spot for them. And so I would say I would want to say to them right now is be encouraged. In this atmosphere and the economy that we're in, it's really tough for a lot of people. I went to a festival yesterday and I met a lot of amazing, local business owners and things of that sort. Many people chasing their dreams, whether it's in the fashion industry, consultancy, coaching, whatever. And a lot of people just express, hardship, right? The season that we're in, it seems to be a lot of hardship. Now, for those that are 10 years in business, you've already experienced quite a lot of different trials and tribulations. So you've toughened up a bit. But to the new entrepreneurs right now, I just want to encourage you to please, hold on to your dream and fight really hard. I know the season that we're in is quite rocky, and for some people, this is their first time experiencing that type of challenge and toughness. But this is going to help you build resilience. And resilience is what you need to survive and thrive in business. So that's what I would just want to put out there in terms of, to share.
And you're a shining example. I want to congratulate you for doing it yourself. Like you
Thank you.
literally went direct to the business owner and served them with your zone of genius with techremedy.com. And I really commend you for
Yeah.
that.
Thank you.
How can folks, business owners, solopreneurs listening right now that resonate with you, how can they connect with you and learn more?
Yeah, definitely the best method is to give us a phone call. I know a lot of people say send us an email. Send us an email if you'd like at info@tekremedy, Tech Remedy, that's TEK. But give us a phone call at 1-888-870-1444. Again, that's 1-888-870-1444. We are happy to, have a conversation. If you're local in the DMV area, we can even do an office date or a coffee date at the Starbucks local. So whether you're near, you're far, we're happy to speak with you and visit our website to learn more. Even if we're not able to interact right away, sometimes our appointment bookings kind of get filled up pretty quickly. But we do have a lot of resources, especially, digital products that help guide folks, especially if you're trying to get into the world of government and trying to, help get some brand clarity and things of that sort. So yeah, Tech Remedy, TEKREMEDY.com.
Chidera, this has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you, for Tech Remedy, and for all of your clients.
Thank you so very much. I appreciate this.
That was Chidera. She's the founder of techremedy.com. And this segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com, the place where professionals and solopreneurs even publish, get their books done so they can turn what they know into what they're known for. Download the book now at booksgrowbusiness.com. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you.